For those of you guys who haven't heard the news, Super Mega Baseball 4 will be released next month on June 2nd and will be available for Xbox Series S and X, PS5, Switch, and on Steam as well. So no matter what console you have, or if you're just a PC player, you'll be able to play this game. Now, one big concern that a lot of people have with it is this will be the first Super Mega Baseball game under the EA umbrella. Now, I'll talk more about that later on in the video, but for now, let's check out some of the features that will be in this game. First and foremost, there are going to be baseball legends in this game that you can actually draft in the shuffle draft that we'll talk about later on as well. Some of the legends include David Ortiz, John Franco, Ron Gant, and even Babe Ruth is in the game as well. So it's giving a lot of All-Pro Football 2K8 vibes, where they had a bunch of legends who are no longer playing in the league right now. And I think it's fine. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who that actually interests. I'm not the most interested in that just because I've never been a huge baseball fan overall, but it is a pretty cool thing as long as they don't try to hide it behind a microtransaction wall. Obviously, that's a big worry with EA because that's the type of thing that we would expect from EA. But if they make it all available, they make all these players available, which it seems like they're going to do, then I don't really see a big problem. One of my followers on Twitter actually brought up a question about, did I think they really needed to bring in baseball legends? And that he feels like they should have focused more on features than adding legends. And I would say, well, adding baseball legends is a feature for one, and two, you can add more features and have baseball legends be one of those features and then add more on top of that as well. I mean, I think those things can go hand in hand. They're not exclusive to one another. And I'm sure this is definitely going to cater to some fans who enjoy these players. Like, I'm sure a lot of Red Sox fans are going to be happy to see Big Papi in the game. So I don't really see the problem, to be honest. Next up, let's talk about the presentation upgrades. So apparently they overhauled the lighting, the character models, the game cameras, and all that. And that's kind of what I expected from them teaming up with EA for this game, with EA buying Metalhead Studios last year. This is kind of what I expected they were going to do with it. Now, obviously, EA is not perfect when it comes to presentation, to say the very least, but overall, they can give Metalhead Studios more to work with as far as all that type of stuff goes. So I definitely think it's a good thing as long as they execute it properly and as long as it looks good. Obviously, with Madden, and I can't really speak to NHL or FIFA, but from what I've been told by people about those games, sometimes there have been issues with presentation as far as that goes. But overall, I think this is a good thing. And you can just tell from like the screenshots that the presentation looks a lot better in general. Next up, we have something that kind of worries me a little bit, and that's the shuffle draft thing where you can basically, from what it seems like, it sounds like it's either a fantasy draft for franchise, which I hope it is, or it's its own mode where you just kind of do what you do in Ultimate Team for other EA titles. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me overlooking it. I feel like it's more likely that it's a fantasy draft type thing. I'm just kind of worried because obviously we all know EA's history with microtransactions. We all know their history with all this Ultimate Team stuff. And that was like the big fear that I even brought up in my video on Super Mega Baseball getting bought by EA. That's what I brought up in that video, which I'll put in the description if you guys want to review that. I actually just watched it myself this morning, but I don't know. This kind of seems a little bit worrisome, but I hope we're not heading towards them doing Ultimate Team in Super Mega Baseball 4 because yikes. I will say, however, if they do Ultimate Team and don't make it pay to win, like don't put any microtransactions behind it, I think that'd be fine. But again, I think I'm overthinking things. I'm thinking maybe this is just more of a franchise thing, but I guess we'll have to see. Last but not least, this is the first Super Mega Baseball game to be on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Super Mega Baseball 3 was backwards compatible, so you were able to play it on the Series S and X. And I think you were able to play it on PS5, but I don't know because I don't have a PS5. But this is the first official release that we're getting on the current gen. And even bigger than that, this is the first time that the Super Mega Baseball series will be available in Japan. Japan is one of the biggest baseball markets in the world, and there have been plenty of great Japanese players to make it through the MLB, including one of my favorite players of all time, Ichiro Suzuki, and of course one of the best players in the league right now in Shohei Ohtani, both Japanese stars. And this is one of the good things about EA taking over Metalhead Studios, because if Metalhead was still an independent gaming company, I don't think it'd be possible for them to port this game over to Japan. But with EA backing, they're able to do it. And look, I know EA has a bad rap, but at the end of the day, I feel like this could very much benefit this series. And I don't know if it's going to be that will be the show killer. Obviously, we talk about Madden killers all the time, but killing off this show, especially with all the bad will that EA's put out over the past few years, killing the show, which has actually gotten better over the years, I mean, that's going to be a tall order. At best right now, this game will probably just be a fun alternative for people who don't take baseball seriously enough to really get invested in the show, but still want to have a fun baseball experience. Because I've never been too deep into MLB The Show. This is like the first year that I actually finished a season in franchise mode. So that just speaks to how much I really am not into baseball, and I'm not really into playing MLB The Show. But Super Mega Baseball has always been a fun game to me, just because I feel like it's for casual baseball fans who don't take it too seriously but still want to have fun with that type of thing. And then people who just love creativity. I mean, that's the one great thing about Super Mega Baseball. The customization options in this game have always been vast. Maybe not in the first one, but in 2 and 3, they were all out there for you to do whatever you wanted to do. You could create a whole league of created players, created teams, and all that. And it was just a whole lot of fun. So as long as EA doesn't try to deviate from that, I think Super Mega Baseball 4 should be a fun experience and a breath of fresh air for anybody who's still holding out hope that EA can get it together. Time will tell. The game does come out next month, so we'll have to see how it is. I'll be playing it myself to see how it is, and I'll probably do a review of it. But fingers crossed that EA didn't completely bastardize this series, you know what I'm saying? But those are just my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this short trailer for this game. Are you guys excited to see Super Mega Baseball 4 come out? Are you excited to play with any of the Hall of Famers that are in the game? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the sub button if you're new as well. And when they start doing their deep dives, I'll be talking about those as well over the coming weeks. And if you guys enjoy MLB The Show 23 and you enjoy watching content in that game, I'm doing a Nationals franchise on the channel, so definitely sub and check that out in the description below.